Hello, my crafty friends. It's Michelle, the Southern Shell, and I am here with day 5, the 12 days of Christmas. We are all about snowmen today, and I can't wait to share with you what I came up with a little inspiration. I don't remember who I seen this. I've seen this on somebody else do this with a taper, and I can't remember who or when or where, but this was my take on it, so I wanted to share that with you. Our hosts today are Brenda with Rustic and Lace DIY and Jackie with Crafting in Mimi's World. Guys, don't forget to check out their channels, which is linked in my description box below. Excuse me, along with a playlist of all the other talented creators that have joined us this month. So I was gathering my supplies, and I have the IOD tapers mold with Santa, the snowman, a snowflake, and a star. I have a kitchen scale, and I have some resin, that amazing resin, casting resin. And then my kitchen scale here, I'm going to use equal amounts by weight. These are not necessarily equal amounts by volume because one might weigh more than the other. So try to do it by weight if you're doing something like this. And I put my cup on my scale, and then I reset it, and it sets it to 0. And then I can start adding my part 1 and then my part 2. And then I'm going to come right on in and give this a good stir. Now this resin is cured in 10 minutes, so you have to work fast. So once I have this all mixed in there, I'm going to go ahead and just pour this down into my snowman taper here. And I'm doing this very carefully so that I don't spill out the edge. And I tell you what, we are in an old house, and the first time I did this one, whoo, you find out just how unlevel your house is if it's like it just poured all out the bottom on me. And so I actually rotate it here as it's drying and curing so that it will actually be even. So I'm testing my waters here. I let it sit for 5 minutes, and your thinner areas will take longer to cure than your thicker areas, which is just weird to me, but that's just the way it is. So I set my timer for 5 minutes, and I came back in and checked it, and I was able to pull that right on out. And I now have a toilet paper roll, and I covered it with plastic wrap. The tail was still very flexible because it will cure the last because it's thinner. And so I needed to use my little heat gun here to manipulate the snowman part up and around that tissue roll. So I'm just using my heat gun, and I'm adding some heat to that, and then I'm pressing it into the shape that I want. If you haven't guessed, we are making some napkin rings. I am so excited how these turned out. They're just beautiful. I can't wait to make more. Once I've got that around that roll, I'm taking another piece of plastic wrap and holding it in place down and around that ring. Now I had to do this each time because I only had one snowman taper, and I made 4 napkin rings. So I just came in, slid that one off. Look at there. It's firm, it's in shape, it's not going anywhere. And now I can go ahead and pull the other out. I took it outside and I sprayed it with that Rust-Oleum black flat primer and got these all a nice good coat all around. Look at these. They're just perfect. So once I did that, I came in and I got my DIY Swan White, and I'm coming in and painting over just the snowman at this particular point. The snowman took 3 coats for me, and so I started with just putting a coat down over the snowman. It didn't matter if it was a little sloppy because I'm going to come in and just do some highlights on there as well. So I just wanted to make sure my snowman actually had a good coat all the way around. So when I came in and I put the one coat down. Then I'm coming in right here and just dusting over, hitting those highlights, but also hitting that snowman one more time. Once I was done with that part of it, I came back in, starting at the beginning, and painted over that snowman again. So there you have that process right there. This is turning out really pretty. It was not difficult. It took some time. I will tell you that. Thank goodness that quickset resin, um, it really did slow it down. Otherwise, you would be having to do this and setting timers and waiting hours in between each one. So once I had those all done, I came in with my chocolate sprinkle and hit those arms. There's some little stick arms actually on the snowman. So if you look carefully, you can tell right in there, there are some stick arms. And so I just threw some chocolate sprinkle over the tops of those. And it's just a very light hand because it sticks out. So you just have to dust the top of it with that color and it will hit those branches just fine. Now I came back in with my little black dress by DIY, and I'm doing the top hat on the snowman. So coming right on in and just touching up, going all over that top hat, and it's just coming together nicely. Once I had those top hats done, I went ahead and came back and touched up on the eyes and the buttons. So I'm just taking that brush and dusting just over the tip of that. You can see right there, I'm just dragging it on over, and that just opens up those buttons and those eyes and the little cold mouth perfectly. Now I did get out some orange and some red acrylic paint as well, and I'm going to come back in with that here in just a minute. There we go. I'm going to start with my orange, and this is just going to be a little brush over his nose. Super easy, just boop and done. And then boop and done. So, you only have 4 to do there, and it's just that one little nose, but I think it made a big difference. Now I'm coming in with the red, and I am going to put that on the brim of my hat. The top hat had a little brim there that looked like it had like a ribbon around the base of the top hat, and I thought that would be adorable to just make that little pop of red on there. The snowman is also wearing a bow tie, so I came in and did the same red on that bow tie on the snowman. And this is coming together so nice, so easy, just time. Guys, if you know me, you know my hand is not straight. I shake, I twitch, I jerk, but I just kept going back and forth. It's like I would touch it up with this and then come back and touch up some more white and then come back and touch up this. And it did turn out perfect in the end. It's rustic enough for me for that farmhouse. Yet we have that black and white, which gives you a little bit of elegance. Now here I have some silver leaf rub and buff, and I have a stiff stencil brush. Now I'm just going to come in and I'm going to dab on that rub and buff onto the tip of that stencil brush, and then I'm going to just run it over the highlighted areas that are lifted in that mold. Just that design element there just adds enough of that silver on top of there to create this beautiful little metallic, just gorgeous. Now I have my 3-in-1, my Beacon's 3-in-1 glue, and all I'm going to do here is actually add a little bit of that Beacon and then a little piece of scotch, or this is masking tape, small masking tape, and I'm going to wrap that right around and hold that end in place, sealing these napkin rings totally all the way around. And there you have it, my friends. Look at the snowmen napkin rings. IOD snowman taper molds using the resin, pulling it out when it's almost done and shaping them and painting them. What do you think? Are you going to try this? Give me a snowman emoji in the comments below if you're going to try to do one of these, or if you'd like to try to do one of these. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today on our 5th day of Christmas. I know that your time is precious, and I thank you for spending your time with me. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, I hope you will consider doing so now by hitting that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification if you'd like to know when my next video has gone live. And as always, stay safe, God bless, bye for now.